Hey Shannon, it's been 5 years, right?
Who is this?
Huh? You know me, right? Stop joking around. We miraculously reunited today, didn't we?
What are you talking about? Please tell me your name or I won't know what you're talking about.
Fine, I'll tell you. It's me, Tariq.
Huh?
Your ex-husband, Tariq?
How do you have my account information?
Seriously? You don't know yet? You came to the entrance ceremony at the kindergarten yesterday, right?
The entrance ceremony? Your child goes to the same kindergarten as mine?
Yep, she's my second child. It seems that my daughter is in a different class as your daughter, though. But it seems like a child of my wife's friend is in the same class as your child, so you must have exchanged contact information with her. She gave your contact information to my wife, which is how I got it.
Could you not hand out my contact information like that?
Calm down. I have no intention of getting back together with you or something. My wife knows I have your contact information, so there's no need to worry.
Your wife is Sarah, right? The woman you cheated on me with 5 years ago, which was the cause of our divorce and also an old friend of mine. It's obvious she finds the situation hilarious.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I think it's hilarious as well.
Don't contact me anymore.
What?
I guess it can't be helped if we see each other at the kindergarten, but I have no intention of being friendly with you two. Bye.
This gets more and more hilarious the more I think about it. If you, who was infertile, were at the kindergarten, then that must mean that you married someone who already had children.
Huh?
Even if you come to the entrance ceremony pretending to be a mother, it's not your actual child, so it's a bit funny thinking about it.
So you still think I'm infertile?
But you couldn't bear a child in the 3 years that we were together, right? Mom said that if a woman can't bear a child in 3 years, then she must be infertile.
But I never even gotten myself tested for infertility. It must have just been bad timing.
But the truth is that you couldn't have a child, which means that you're infertile. You knew this, and that's why you married a single father, right?
I'm my husband's first wife, and the child that was born between us is also his first child.
Stop being delusional.
I'm delusional?
Yeah, these are the sad fantasies of a woman who can't give birth. You really are strange.
Fine. Our children go to the same kindergarten, so we'll probably see each other again whether we want to or not. So I'll tell this to you now to prevent any misunderstandings in the future.
What is it?
I've already given birth to 3 children.
Huh?
My eldest son, who's 3 years old, the one who came to the entrance ceremony yesterday, and 2 twin daughters who were half a month ago.
Huh? You're infertile but have 3 children? That means your husband had 3 children with his previous wife, right? Stop making weird excuses, it's confusing.
I gave birth to all 3 of them.
But you're infertile and...
I told you that I gave birth after we divorced. Do you not understand that what I'm trying to say is that I'm not infertile?
Huh? You gave birth to them?
Yes, that's what I told you multiple times. Oh, and it's not like I underwent some sort of infertility treatment. I gave birth to them naturally.
Then why didn't you get pregnant in the 3 years you were married to me?
Why are you asking me that?
Tell me.
All I know is that there were no problems with my body. You think about what other possibilities there might have been. Goodbye.
Because of you, my wife took my children and went to her parents' house.
What? Don't get me involved in your fights, please.
I'm not involving you, this is your fault. I wanted to find out whether you had actually given birth to your son, so I dropped off and picked up my child to and from kindergarten as much as possible so I could have a chance to meet you.
Oh, you're talking about 10 days after the entrance ceremony, right? I was with my husband, right?
Yes, that husband. I tried to talk to you, but as I tried to approach, he suddenly appeared from behind your back. I thought I had seen him before, and so I looked closely at his face, which is when I noticed that he was the executive director at my office.
Apparently, I only found out when he told me after we got married.
I know that he has a son the same age as my daughter. When I heard that his wife gave birth to twin daughters a few months ago, does that mean that what you were saying was true?
I see. So that's why you ran off without even talking to me, your face pale. I haven't seen you since, but I'm not complaining.
Something terrible has happened to me.
What?
I did a bit of research after that and found out that men being infertile is more common than I thought. I did a DNA test with my child. The result was, well, he was my child.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, but my wife found that I had done a DNA test behind her back, and she got furious at me for suspecting her of cheating.
Oh, and that's why she took your children and went to her parents' house. But I don't see how that has anything to do with me.
If you hadn't said anything strange, I would have never have done a DNA test.
Wouldn't this have never happened if you never bothered me in the first place?
Then why did you reply to my text?
Because you still insisted that I was infertile, and you even said that my husband was a single father or something. Don't you think it was only natural for me to get annoyed and correct you?
But you were supposed to be infertile.
You were just being delusional. If you have the time to complain to me like this, then why don't you make up with your wife instead? Bye.
This is so unfair. You're so much less attractive than me, but you're the wife of an executive director? And to think that he works at the same company as Tariq. To think that she would get married with someone even better than Tariq after he threw you away. I stole Tariq from you, only for you to find someone even better. Unfair! That's so unfair. I'm gonna steal this new husband of yours.
I can't do this anymore.
Huh?
My family's on the verge of collapse again.
Oh, you're talking about how Sarah tried to seduce my husband into going to a hotel together, right? I heard that Sarah was a newly hired part-time worker at you and my husband's client company. Apparently, my husband filed a complaint, so it's only a matter of time before she gets fired, though.
What is this? Ever since I met you at the kindergarten again, my life has been crumbling apart piece by piece.
You're making this my fault again? Is this a hobby of yours or something?
Why did you put your child into that kindergarten? Did you do it on purpose? You were jealous of me and Sarah, and
I don't have enough time on my hands for such stupid matters.
you're saying this is stupid?
Yes, no matter how you look at it.
What?
Why don't you calm down and think about this logically? It just happened to be the case that we enrolled our children in the same kindergarten. I didn't do anything to you. Do you understand that?
Uh-oh.
Which means that if you hadn't went out of your way to get my contact information just to annoy me, this never would have happened. Don't make me repeat myself over and over.
Shannon, I turned in my divorce papers earlier, so could you get divorced as well and get back together with me?
Huh?
Let's just give custody of our children to our current partners and give birth to children of our own. It seems that neither of us are infertile, so you were getting a bit old to give birth, but you can handle one more, right?
Jesus, will you seriously never leave me alone?
What?
It's been medically proven that too much stress makes it more difficult to have children.
What? What are you trying to say?
Don't you get it?
Huh?
You bothering me like this all the time is a huge source of stress. Your parents were the same when they were living with us.
My parents?
Yes, they were just like you. Every time I met them, the first thing they would say was, "Give us a grandchild." They would tell me this more than a dozen times each day, which almost drove me to insanity.
But they never said that to Sarah.
Of course they didn't.
What?
You have an older child, right? Sarah got pregnant with this child, which is also why you divorced me. They wouldn't tell her to give birth to a grandchild if she already did, would they? Judging by what you said earlier, it seems that Sarah got custody of the child, so if I were to marry you again, I would be thrust back into the same hell as before with them telling me to give them a grandchild over and over. Why would I do that?
Fine, I'll keep an eye on them and make sure they don't say that to you anymore.
But I have no intention of divorcing my husband, and I have no intention of letting go of my children either.
What? Really?
Why did you even think that I want to get back together with you in the first place? There's no chance no matter how you look at it.
Yeah, but if the two of us loved each other enough...
I lost my last ounce of love for you when I found out you cheated on me with Sarah.
What? Then what should I do now? I already got divorced.
I don't know.
Just open the front door, will you?
What?
I came to pick you up. I know that the executive director doesn't go to work on Mondays. This is our chance to make an escape without being bothered. Come on, I'm outside the backyard. I can come in if I break the window in the living room. Hold on. If I could just get a hold of you for a day, then you'll have no choice but to get divorced.
Are you an idiot?
Huh? Is that how you talk to your husband?
If the executive director doesn't go to work on Mondays, then he isn't at the office now, right?
Yeah, that's why...
Then doesn't that mean there's a high probability that he's currently at home? In fact, he is.
Huh?
Apparently, he's going to tell the company about this.
No way.
We already called the police, by the way.
I hear sirens.
There's no use trying to run anymore. Goodbye. I didn't expect that he would try and break in our house and get caught by the police. Not long after that, Tyreek was fired from his job. We received an alimony from Tyreek and Sarah, and after that placed a restraining order on them. I haven't seen them since. Apparently, both of their families got involved in a fight over who would get custody of their children. Since neither of the parents were functioning adults, the grandparents of the children had to settle things for them. Each family would gain custody of one child, and they would be adopted by relatives. The relatives of both Tyreek and Sarah cut ties with their families. It seems the 6 of them, Tyreek, Sarah, and their 4 parents, all are currently unemployed. There are eyewitness accounts saying that they were living together under a bridge, but it's uncertain where they really went.
Well, bro, I'm sorry to say it. I really never thought this day would finally come, but here we are. We've had a good run, but I'm afraid this is goodbye forever. I never want to hear from you again.
Wait, what? I know we don't text that often, but what is this all about?
I mean that I got married, and I'm cutting you out of my life, Ricardo.
Pablo, is everything okay?
What's that supposed to mean, huh?
You mean that ever since you graduated from med school and started working as a doctor, you've been acting different. It just feels like you keep trying to go from one goal to another ever since then.
What does that even mean?
I mean, like just now, for example. We live in the same house and you just dropped the news on your big brother that you got married? I don't get it. I feel like there are things that you aren't telling me. Other than the obvious big things.
And just why should I have to tell you every little detail about my life, huh? You know what your problem is? You dropped out of high school just so that you could start working early. The fact is that there are so many things that you don't know, and I don't have time to teach them to you.
If you're upset with me, that's fine, but I just want you to tell me what's going on with you. Please, can't we just talk?
Fine, you want an explanation? Here's what's going on. I'm now married to the daughter of the director of the hospital that I'm working at.
Wow, well that's pretty impressive. I mean, doesn't that guy come from a long line of doctors?
You mean you know about my hospital director?
I mean, that family has basically ran that hospital for as long as I can remember. They're a pretty famous bunch.
Well, good. Then this will make it easier to explain. Yes, I am married to the daughter of that famous doctor, and that basically means that I'm guaranteed to be the next director.
Are you sure about that? I thought that you were still doing some kind of residency or something, right?
So what if I am?
Look, I really don't know about how all this medical stuff works, but I would just be careful about going around half-cocked declaring yourself the next hospital director.
So basically, you're jealous? Is that what's going on? You have no idea how things work in my field.
I really don't, but I'm just trying to give you some brotherly advice.
How about you just stick to the things you do know about? Got it? I'm the only one of us who's a doctor. And the fact of the matter is so many people from my graduating class came from wealthy families. But this girl, she is my ticket to glory. But first, I need to cut you off so nothing is holding me back.
Can you even prove yourself as a doctor among a whole family of doctors?
Well, not everyone is a doctor. My new wife is just a receptionist, but even she went to college.
And is that all that matters to you? What the last level of education someone got was?
Just can it already, would you? Look, I need you to move out of the house.
And just why would I do something like that?
Because my wife wants to move into our place, since it's closer to the hospital than where she is right now. But I can't let her know the embarrassing truth.
And just what would this embarrassing truth be, I wonder?
Well, it's the fact that I have some sweaty, smelly, blue-collar older brother, of course. If she knew the type of people that I came from, there's no way she would ever let me into her world of wealth and power. I know that your job barely even pays you, but Surely you can afford some kind of crappy little apartment for yourself, right?
You know, I've been working a long, long time. Maybe you forgot him, but I was the one who paid for you to go to medical school. I think that I can afford an apartment for myself.
Well, good. Then get out already. I told you to pack up your bags and leave, and I meant it.
Are you sure about this? You really want me to go? This is your last chance to change your mind if you're not sure.
Of course I do. If you stay any longer, it'll just be that harder to air your stink out of the house.
Well, okay, if you're sure about this, I guess I'll go then.
And don't ever come back, you bottom feeder.
Hey there, Kathy. I'm really sorry to be telling you all of this so late, but I moved out of my house.
Wait, what? What happened?
Well, last night I slept in a motel, but I'm gonna be moving my stuff into a new apartment where I'll live from now on.
Ricardo, tell me what happened. Is everything okay? I thought that you were worried about your sick mom, and that's why you stayed in your old house for so long. I mean, for all these years, ever since your dad died. You dropped out of high school and have been working to support your whole family. How did all of this happen?
I know it's a lot to take in, but I talked to my mom and have moved out for now. I think once things settle down, I'll try and take her with me too.
But can't you just tell me what happened?
Well, to make a long story short, my brother wants to cut me out of his life and pretend that I don't exist so that he can try to curry favor with his new wife's family, who are a bunch of rich, famous doctors, and he thinks that I'll ruin his chances of that. Yeah, I think I summed it up pretty nicely, actually.
Wait, what? What kind of crazy soap opera is your life ripped out of? That's crazy! Your brother married into a bunch of doctors?
That's right. In fact, he actually married your cousin, Aaron.
Wait a second. I only heard that Aaron got married a couple nights ago. But I had no idea that it was to your little brother.
So it sounds like even your side of the family hasn't heard much about any of this, huh?
Maybe they were planning to make the big announcement at our family reunion next month? But wait! I thought that Aaron was dating some guy who worked at the pharmaceutical company she works for.
Oh, really? I have no idea.
Well, I remember that about 2 months ago, she brought a guy home and said that he was her boyfriend. They were even already talking about getting married.
Well, something must be going on then.
I mean, I wasn't actually there to meet him, but I remember she told me that he was a coworker, and your brother is a doctor. I guess that she must have been running around on someone.
It must have been this coworker guy, since Pablo and her seem to be married.
I don't know. I still feel like something is off here.
Well, I can certainly see Pablo doing something sneaky like this, but what about Aaron?
No, I don't know. Erin has always seemed like a rather serious and reasonable girl. But changing who she was going to marry and then getting married so quickly just doesn't seem like her.
Well then, how did she and my brother end up getting married? If your cousin really is the type of person that you think she is, then I can't see why she would get with someone like my brother.
You know, now that you say that, I haven't actually been able to get a hold of Erin for the past month or so. I even sent her a message congratulating her on her wedding, but she hasn't even opened it.
Something is for sure going on then.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I think I'm going to try and get to the bottom of it.
Well, good luck and be safe. If you need any help or anything like that, just let me know.
Of course! Thanks for talking to me about this. I really appreciate it. I will let you know about any developments, okay? Ricardo, are you there? You're not gonna believe this, but I finally heard back from Erin.
Oh, really? What did she say?
Well, apparently, my uncle and Pablo are away on a conference right now. And it was her only chance she had to talk to me.
But why did she tell you?
Well, between what I found out on my own and what Aaron told me, things are pretty bad. But I think that I'm going to need your help. So maybe it would be better to talk about this in person? You aren't working today, right? Maybe I could bring Aaron and the three of us could talk together. Could we all head over to your place?
Yeah, sure, no problem. Just let me know when you guys are at the front door and I'll let you in.
Hey, Ricardo, thanks again so much for today.
Don't thank me. I'm so sorry for what Pablo did. I can't believe he would go that far just to marry Aaron the way he did. We need to move fast and try and save her as soon as we can.
I'm so happy you feel that way. Yes, we are going to do this.
Hey, Ricardo, do you have any idea where Mom is right now?
Oh, Pablo. I thought you said you never wanted to speak to me again.
Just shut up and tell me where Mom is right now.
Well, she's here with me, actually.
What? Why is she with you? What's going on here, huh?
You know, I've been paying for the majority of all three of our expenses for years now. So when I left the house, I knew there was no way that I could just leave Mom there with you. Especially when she makes so little for herself from her job.
What are you talking about? Sure, you may have helped me out a little when I was going to school, but I've never taken anything from you now that I'm a doctor.
Are you kidding me, right? You think I'm gonna take that from the guy who has never contributed more than around $200 a month to expenses?
What's wrong with that? That's plenty of money.
Do you realize that every month we have to pay about $850 to live at that house? $200 isn't nearly enough for anything!
What are you even talking about? What's your point?
I mean that at the end of the month, that house needs to be empty.
What is that supposed to mean?
I mean that we were renting that place under my name, but now that I'm gone, I've canceled the lease on the place. And Mom said that she wanted to come and live with me. If you want to move into a place with your new wife, you're gonna have to find one on your own.
Wait, just hold on for a second. I need to think.
Think about what?
Well, I think that Aaron and I are going to get a divorce soon, and I think that I'm going to have to quit my job at the hospital.
Huh? Things are moving way faster than I expected.
What do you mean by that?
But I guess I shouldn't have expected anything less from my girl.
Ricardo, what are you talking about? What is this?
Did you know that one of the relatives of your mother-in-law has hired a private investigator to look into you?
Excuse me, what?
I said what I said. And he found out all about the hospital director's affair with that young nurse. Or should I say nurses, but so did you. And you used that information to try and blackmail your boss and force him to let you marry his daughter. But before you could do that, you also had to make sure that she broke up with her fiancé. The real man that she wanted to marry, who worked with her.
But I don't get... How did you find this out? Unless... that girl you mentioned earlier. Are you calling her the detective, her? You mean that you had a mole inside the family and were watching me this whole time? What's the matter with you? You're my brother.
I do not want to be called your brother anymore.
What do you mean by that?
I mean that yesterday, Aaron's parents got a divorce because of your father-in-law's affairs.
Wait, they did?
That's right. All because we let a little info leak.
How could you do that? How could you ruin my plan?
Don't ask me, ask my girl. She's the one who said that she wanted to bring all of this to light and let the cards fall where they may. Even if that means letting you and your uncle fall in order to save her cousin. So now your father-in-law is going to step down as hospital director and soon your wife is going to leave you.
But Where do you live right now?
What do you mean?
I mean that I'm out of a job and I might lose my license and I'm going to get divorced and you need to help me.
You got yourself into this mess. You get yourself out.
Please, I need you right now, bro. You can't just leave me hanging like this. I need your help right now.
Don't call me bro. You and I are not brother anymore.
Please, don't be like that.
I've had enough out of you. You're the one who wanted to shut me out of your life in the first place.
What do you mean? You know that I wasn't really serious about any of that, right?
I mean that I'm only giving you what you wanted from me. So we're not family anymore.
Ricardo, please.
After that, I heard that the reason Pablo was fired was because he was always showing up late. Always harassing the female nurses and would try to wave everything away by saying he was next in line to run things. After his divorce with Erin, she sued him for emotional distress and won. Pablo had very little in the ways of saving since he always enjoyed spending money, and with his reputation ruined, he left the state. About a year later, I heard from a college on a business trip that he thought he saw someone who might be my brother, but I didn't bother to look into it. Instead, Kathy, my mom, and I are all living happily together.